All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Flashpoint Basketball by Del Branham. This is the Flashpoint Basketball Association 2026 kickoff, tip-off, perennial debut for the league. I have made 6 fictional teams. Del provided me with names for his team. So Del's the Soda City Bottlecaps with names of his players. Del gave me enough players that they bled over to a second club in the Columbia area. These would be players that didn't make the Soda City team. And then out of spite, this group of players that didn't make the Soda City Ball Club started their own team called the Columbia Cleanups. And the other four players that didn't make Del's first team are now going to be on the Columbia Cleanups with a couple of other players. So already we're going to start this little career of basketball, professional basketball, with a little bit of drama as the Soda City had these tryouts, and these 6 players made the Soda City Bottlecaps. The ones that didn't started a competitive team up, and we're going to have 2 teams in the Columbia area, the Columbia and Soda City, duking it out. And then we have the Little Rocks Diamonds, we have the Cheyenne Gale, we have my team, the Montrose Eagles. None of these players yet have been awarded their role. They are named with numbers. They do have their actual position, their actual die side for scoring. And then, of course, they do not yet have their value. So we have to roll them up. So I have not created the players yet with their role. I wanted to do that here on the channel. So we're going to go ahead and roll. And so rules as written. These are things that, again, as I played my first game and my second game, I was already talking about things I would maybe tweak or change. But in talking to Del, when you find out as you play a game, sometimes you don't know the subtle nuances of what the designer's going for. And Del, in a couple of emails, clarified why things are the way they are. And they're 100% spot on. And this is why it's important to not change games until you've had a chance to really play them and learn what the point was. Or talk to the designer or somebody who enjoys the game and find out why things are the way they are. So Del explained to me in an email why it is so important that when you roll up their roll, you start with 1 and work up to 6, because you could end up with your superstar at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. The goal, the danger here is your superstar might end up being the number 2 player. So that creates a dynamism among teams where some teams will have a true 6 superstar. That would be like Michael Jordan, a LeBron James. It would be the guys that are like the absolute apex of scoring. But you could have a superstar at 1, which is your bench, but that 1 coming off the bench technically would be a player, would be like a defensive star, right? So the lower the number, they're more like defensive powerhouses. 6 would be offensive powerhouses. So let's go ahead and rate Rojo first. And remember, we look at 1 first. This is Connor West. So Rojo, we have number 88, Connor West. He is a role player, right? So we're going to put in here Connor West, role player. All right, John Smith. What kind of player is he? He is a star or superstar? Nope, he is a star. So one of their stars is gone already. Remember, you only get 2 stars, 1 superstar. Bill McCarty is a role player. So we're finding out what their roles are now. 2 is a role player. Bart Walton. So again, let's go back here. Connor West, number 88, is a role player. That is technically their top bench player, the 6th man in your basketball team. Rio Rojo is number 40. John Smith is a star. Bill McCarty, Rio Rojo is number 50. Bill McCarty is a role player. And number 31, Bart Walton, is a role player. Number 11, Glenn Rogers is a role player. And last but not least, their last chance for another star or a superstar. They need a 5 or a 6 for Pete Patterson. And Pete Patterson is a star. So lucky for them, they got their 2nd star at 6. Now what I want to do is write them in here. So Connor West is role. John Smith is a star. And you'll see again as we play through this now what all this means. Roll, if you haven't already from the other videos. But again, I was so enjoyed this and so inspired by it. Yes, it has kind of prioritized a space on my table for a while. I had other plans like baseball, etc., but I'll get back to those later. Number 5 is a roll. And last but not least, Pete Patterson, thank gosh, is a star. And that's pretty cool. So we got a star at number 2 and a star at number 6. All right, Dell, here's your team, buddy, Soda City. And let's go ahead and find out what Soda City's all about. Here we go. Number 1, Uncle Drew Bardot. This is his nickname is Uncle. So Soda City's number 2, Uncle Drew Bardot. He is the 6th man, number 1. 4, and he is a star. You got to be kidding me. So one of Dell's stars is wasted on a defensive player. I say wasted. It's not a waste. It's just he's not going to give you a whole lot of scoring options, right? He'll win a lot of. He can win a lot. So one of his stars already gone to Uncle Bordeaux, and then we got number 2, 6, Clarence. Downtown Withers is a superstar. Superstar is their number 2 man. This might be your power forward, could be a shooting guard. I'm not giving them positions yet. Superstar. Again, you don't even need to give them positions. You can assume, but at some point I'll assign all the players an actual position. Again, in the book, what matters is 1 through 6, and the roles need to be rolled in order of 1 through 6. But they could be point guards, shooting guards. You don't have to feel like all 6s are point guards, right? And at least I'm going to make that change. Dell may think that's not the right thing to do, but I don't want every point guard to be the number 6 guy. It doesn't feel right. All right, especially when we know that some of the greatest players in history were centers, small forwards, power forwards. All right, Jimmy Chitwood. This is not so. Number 62, Clarence Downtown Withers is a superstar, and downtown makes me think he's a shooting guard. Jimmy Chitwood, number 99, Jimmy the janitor Chitwood. This would be your cleanup man. This is your garbage man, the guy that hustles, grabs loose balls, tears rebounds away from people. I could see the janitor being the cleanup guy, and he's a 3. He's going to be a role player. RP. So we got a role player here for Jimmy Chitwood, and then we got Jackie the Pickpocket Lewis, number 42. And okay, we do get another star, son of a gun. So he's got 2 stars, shite, and a superstar already. I don't know what my team's going to look like. I haven't rolled my team up yet. Wow. So Jackie the Pickpocket, that sounds like a point guard to me, right? Stealing balls. Scotty Howland Howard, number 12, would be a star, but you cannot have more than 1. So actually, I can just go ahead and give these guys roles. I don't have to roll them because he's already got his superstar and his 2 stars. So these guys are automatically role players. So his number 6 and 5 men are role players. So right here, that means Pete Patterson in a matchup with these 2 will win, right? That's pretty damn sweet. Okay, so you may have also noticed, so the coach of Soda City, Dell Branham, the coach of Rio, Rojo Phoenix is Coach Dean Hutchinson. So we'll put these here. I've got the away team on the top row and the home team on the bottom row. The green die is the home roll. The red die is the away die. For those who don't know, I've got my score sheet set up here. I am playing 10 segment halves instead of quarters. So we're going to play a first half of basketball, get the halftime score, and then the second half of basketball. And I will track actual. So I'm going to use tokens visually for people watching. Green is for the home team highlights. Red is for the visiting team highlights. When a player gets 3, they get a heat token. That'll tell us that they are on fire, basically, right? They are hot. All right, folks. So let's go ahead and play ball here. And again, I will attempt to do this best I can. Exactly right rules as written. It's not complicated. It's just there's some. I've had trouble at times intellectually understanding the defensive highlights, and so that still may take me a minute as I work through things. All right, here we go. Tip off, folks. May the best team win. The Rojo. I haven't yet given these guys there's no doubt that Pickpocket, I think, is a point guard. The Janitor, I think, would be a power forward, cleaning up rebounds. I think Downtown Withers has got to be our shooting guard because they're launching it from downtown. That leaves me a small forward in Howlin' Howling. Spark Plug, Sparks. I'm going to say Uncle Drew is our center, number 1. And then I think Scotty Howlin' Howard will be our... what are we missing? Point guard, shooting guard, small forward, center. Oh, so we're going to have a couple. We're going to have Howlin' Howard will be our other shooting guard, and Sparks will be our other point guard. So again, we don't need to have represent every single position. So this just means that the 2 point guards aren't on the floor necessarily at the same time. It just means they might be interlapping or something. Okay, over here, Connor West. We're going to make Connor West a point guard. Our star, John Smith, we're going to make him a power forward. Big man inside. Bill McCarty, we're going to make a shooting guard. This is a play on words. Bill McCarty is a mix of the real life name of Billy the Kid. Henry McCarty was supposedly his real name, or William Bonner. But Billy McCarty would be a mix of Billy the Kid, Rio Rojo. All right, Bart Walton, role player here. We've already got a power forward. So let's go with, let's make this guy, Bart Walton, a C. Center. And then Glenn Rogers, we want our small forward, I think. And then Pat Peterson. What do we want him to be? I think he'll be our, he'll be a second center. So this team will have 2 big men, 3 big men. This team is small. Point guards, shooting guards. So a couple of point guards, a couple of shooting guards. Oh, we don't have a small forward. Okay, great. So we'll actually make Howlin' Howard a shooting guard / small forward. There we go. Remember, that's just for your, if you were making historical teams, obviously. But what matters is the 1 through 6 and the roles. That's what matters. All right, here we go. Let's tip it off. This is, again, Flashpoint Basketball Association 2026 tip-off. First game ever, and we have now rated fully and named fully all the players on Rio Rojo and the Soda City Bottlecaps. And here we go. We're going to be looking at 5. So Scotty Howlin' Howard versus Connor West. We've got a role player versus a role player. So it's going to be 5. The difference is 4. 9 points for Soda City's Howard. So Howard comes out really strong, scores 9 points. And folks, he's going to earn a tick. When he gets 3, he'll get a heat. Wow. And of course, we're going to get 5 points. 1 plus the difference, 4 for West. 4 points. Holy cow. Howard coming out really strong, number 12. All right, we're going to get Uncle Berto versus the star Pete Patterson. Unbelievable. So 6 and 1, that's 5. 6 and 5 is 11. So we're going to see Patterson, the big center, score 11 points and earn himself a tick, a highlight. These are highlights. 3 highlights equal a heat level. And Bordeaux will score 1. He'll score 6. So Uncle Bordeaux will score 6. Folks, we got a ball game. Here we go. Coming down the court, it is 15-15. Can you believe it? Tie ball game. We're going to get 2 and 2. Oh, my God. But guess what? The star wins. No, we got a superstar. We got 2 2s banging it. This would be a great example of a defensive highlight, right? They're both matched, but he's going to hold his score down. So 2. So Downtown Walters as a superstar gets the actual highlight, but it's a defensive highlight. So 2 for Soda City's Withers is going to score 2 and get the tick. However, Rojo Smith would normally get 2. However, the defensive highlight is going to push the star down. And again, superstar beats star in a head-to-head. So that means Smith is only going to get 1 bucket or 1 point. What that means is he would maybe be fouled and go to the free throw line. He makes 1 from the free throw line. John Smith normally would have beaten out probably somebody there, but nope. Downtown Withers scores 2. And here we go, segment 4. We got now 2 ticks for players, 1 up here for Pete. All right, we got 5 again, Howlin' Howard and McCarty. So again, our role player versus role player. So 5 beats 3. It's going to be Howard again, having a brilliant first half. 5, the difference 2, so 7 points, and he's going to score another tick. Wait, Howard got a tick before, didn't he? Oh, I put it on the wrong guy. I got to pay attention to that portion, right? Get him on the right dude. Sparks hasn't scored yet. So already, Howlin' Howard is almost hot. And then we got 3, difference 2, so we got 5 points for McCarty. It's rumored that he's related to Billy the Kid some point in the past. Who knows how true that is out here at Rio Rojo. And here we go. We got 2 again. Oh, man. Downtown Withers taking it to the point guard. And he's a superstar. So Withers is going to score 3 points. So he hits a downtown bucket, gets himself another highlight. And Rojo's going to score... let's see here. The difference is 1, 2. He's going to score 2. Is West. And right now, Soda City is racking up ticks. And the score, I don't know yet. Let's see. What's the score? It's 15-23 to 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So 23-27, Soda City's winning. Thanks to that 3-point bucket that downtown superstar Weathers just drilled. Oh, we got 6. Sparks, the point guard, working hard on the center. So Sparks is going to take the center to the bucket. And Sparks is going to get 6. The difference is, they're both role players, 6. The difference is 2. So it's going to be 8 points for Sparks. He's going to get 6, 8. And he's going to get himself a token. And then over here we got Walton, the big center. He's going to get 6 points, but he does not earn any heat. Look how Soda City, man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 highlights for the Soda City team. We're at number 7 segment here. It's going to be, oh, wow, Sparks again he is going to town on the role player point. So point guard versus point guard. Sparks is schooling Connor West. 6 and 5, 11 points. That's another token for Sparks. And then West is going to score 1 and 5 is 6 points for West. West is doing well, but he ain't getting any heat, man. He's not earning any heat. Unbelievable. We're at segment 8. And again, it is 15-23, 29, 35 to, oh, Lord. So we're going to put 35 here just for my brain. 15, 22, 24, 27, 35, 46. It is a butt kicking here at segment 8. First half's almost over. We got 2 versus 1. Oh, no. Guess who's hot? Bam. We got a heat token now for downtown Withers, and we got a 1. So Connor West being schooled again. Downtown's going to be a defensive win. And we're gonna go downtown. This is Withers. He's gonna score 2. His heat automatically is engaged. So 2 plus the difference 3, and he gets a point for the heat. That's 4 points for him. And Connor West is gonna score 1, 2 points for Connor West. West has been involved too much. That's their 6th man technically playing a lot here in the first half. West has already showed up 1, 2, 3, 4 times and hasn't earned any heat because he's just not good enough. But uh-oh, now we got a heat token. Now I can remove these. He's a superstar, so he can climb all the way up to heat 2. So right now, Clarence Withers is hot at heat level 1, and I'm going to go ahead and put here heat level 1, which gave him that bonus point. All right, segment number 9. We're not yet at halftime, but we're getting there. 4 versus 4. We've got Jackie, the pickpocket Lewis, point guard. She's a star. He is a star. I guess it's he. It could be a she, I suppose. We don't assign him gender, but Jackie, I'm not certain. 4 versus Bart Walton, but a star wins. So that's going to be, that's going to mean, let's see here. That's interesting. Star wins. Oh, so he gets a highlight. That's it. Okay, no point differential here. So Lewis gets 4, but earns the highlight. Walton, the center, earns 4, but no highlight. This is it, folks. We're coming to halftime. The final segment in our first game. Wow, look at this. Pete Patterson's going to earn another versus Uncle. Unc just got owned. Let's see here. Star versus Star, though. Oh, my gosh. Well, either way, Patterson is going to win this on an attacking roll of 11. Wow, did they need that score bad from the big Star center. So Patterson, late in the first half, comes away with a second 11. So Patterson has scored 22 points in the first half. Unc gets 6. No highlights for Unc. And folks, we're at halftime. Let's add up this score. 15, 16, 21, 23, 29, 35, 37, 41, 52 points at halftime for the Rojo in the first game ever of Flashpoint Basketball Association. Howard, so we've got 15, 17, 20, well, no, 15, 17, 24, 27, 35, 46, 50, 60. It is an 8-point game. Soda City's up 60-52. Holy cow. And folks, Clarence Withers is hot. We've got 2 other players on the verge of getting hot, and then we have only 1 other player for the visitor who could get hot. All right, here we go. Halftime. Segment 11. They come out of the tunnel. Soda City Bottlecaps coach Del Branham pepping them up, highlighting them on the chalkboard, making some X's and O's and showing some plays and what they can do to continue this. Dean Hutchinson on the other side talking to his 2 stars, telling them they're going to have to step it up. Especially Pete. Although Pete has already scored 22 points, he's telling Pete, you at 7'2", you know, Pete, you can just see he's a 7'2" monster. Pete, you got to take control of this game. Nope, it's going to be 3-3. All right, so we're looking at Jimmy the Janitor Chitwood, the cleanup man, versus Billy McCarty, who's already had some rust. They're both role players. It's a tie. So we got McCarty again. He's going to score 3. And again, neither one of these guys have a heat. Neither one of these guys have a roll advantage. So it's a straight tie. And Chitwood gets 3. Nobody gets a highlight. This is just straight old school basketball, backing each other down and working on short jump shots, hook shots, etc. Segment 12, we're going to be looking at, we're going to be looking at Bordeaux, who's a star, Uncle Bordeaux, versus star John Smith. Neither one of them have heat. So we're going to end up with John Smith scores. He's going to be the winner of this. He's going to get a highlight because he won the die roll. Let's see, 3 points for Smith. And Bordeaux, Uncle Bordeaux is going to score 2 points. Wow, unbelievable. And we have not seen anybody else get into heat now. All right, 2. There he is. Clarence Withers has heat level. He's going to automatically win this. So it's going to be heat level, which means he gets to reduce this point score. So the highlight, technically, goes here as a defensive highlight for the superstar. Unbelievable. So let's do this. McCarty normally would have scored 3-4, but because of the heat highlight, he's going to score 3. He's held down. And Withers is going to earn 2-3. He's going to tie him, but he technically earns the highlight. So he's already on almost into heat. He needs 2 more highlights, and he's headed for heat level 2. All right, 3. That's Jimmy the Janitor versus John Smith, who's a star. The star wins. So John Smith's going to get a defensive highlight. And look at this, John Smith playing defense. This is what Del talked about. The ones and the twos seem like, well, that's kind of, how could they be stars? Because they're defensive highlights. So these two guys are defensive players more, right? So John Smith is going to score, let's see, he won this. So it's a defensive highlight. He's going to score 3. And he's going to hold down Chitwood to 2. Unbelievable. And he earned his second highlight. So we got 2 players now. So how would Rio Rojo beat Soda City? Playing defense. First half, it's 60-52. We're on a huge pace. However, all of a sudden in the second half, Rio Rojo's defense has slowed things down. So you can just look at what's happened. The difference in halves, the big boys, Patterson, Howard, Withers, Sparks, all the big boys were scoring. Second half, how can Rio Rojo change the game? Start playing their defensive star, steps up, starts getting steals, blocks. So John Smith's got 2 defensive highlights. Huge, because he's held the uncle to 2 and he's held Chitwood to 2. So that's how they're going to catch up. They're going to slow the game down and hopefully slow down the scoring of Soda City. Here we go. Oh, well, too little too late. As Howard is going to score 9 points for Howard again. And by the way, wait a minute, he's a role player? He's a role player. Okay, yeah, so we're good. And that's going to give, guess what, folks? We got 2 men hot as Howland Howard now is hot as well. We get to add to this, so he's actually going to score 10 because you automatically add that heat bonus, right? So 10, he's going to score 1. Let's see, 1 and 4, 5. He's going to score 5. So Connor West has been averaging 5 per segment that he scores. Not bad. Holy cow. Here we go, folks. This is one hell of a game. That's going to kill him, though. That 10 points is a killer. Oh, guess who's got the heat? He's going to take it to Bill McCarty. So right here, we're going to get Withers now, who's hot. He's going to score 3 plus his heat, 4 points. But he also scores another highlight. And Billy McCarty is going to score 3. Just 3 points. Holy cow. And this is where the stars and the superstars are going to help Soda City win some games. Number 17, 4, Jackie the Pickpocket versus Bart Walton. The Pickpocket's a star, so that's a win for Lewis. They're going to score 4, but that's a win, meaning the highlight goes to Lewis. And Walton scores the same, but no highlight, can't get hot. Here we go, number 18. Soda City's going to win this game, I think, folks. Oh, 1-1. However, it's the star of Soda City, Uncle Bordeaux, who's going to win this. So the Unk finally gets a win, and that's going to be, technically, that would be defensive. So the Unk's going to score 1, and Connor West will score nothing. An absolute beautiful defensive play by Unk, who shuts down Connor West. Number 19, it's going to be 5, Glenn Rogers, finally, but it's against the role player Chitwood, so Glenn Rogers, 5, 6, 7, Rogers, they needed Rogers to play more today, he didn't show up, 7, that's a highlight for Rogers. Chitwood, who's also a role player, is going to get 3, 4, 5, Chitwood scores 5, we got us a ball game, we got 2 men hot. He's about to go into heat level 2, which would be unbelievable. This is it, the very final segment of the game. I don't believe Rio Rojo can do much except keep the score close. And it's going to be, again, exact same roll, 5 and 3. So late in the game, Rogers decides to show up. Unfortunately, Rogers shows up late, and Chitwood gets his 5 again. And again, we had 1, 2, 3 guys close to heat here. And we had 2 already hot. He was about to go into heat level 2. He was about to go into heat level 1. I'm telling you, man, these guys absolutely on fire. Let's add it up and see what the final score is. Final. Let's see here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 12, 17, 20, 24. 24, 31, 38 points. Wow, that's not great. Plus their 52. And they're going to finish with 90 points. That is so sweet. God, dog, what a great game. 90 points for Rojo. Chitwood, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But then 10 from Howard. That was ginormous. 28, 29, 39 points. What a close second half, folks. 38-39 in the second half. The Rio defense got it done, slowing down Soda City big time. Unfortunately, add them up, 99-90. Soda City is going to be 1-0, and Rojo 0-1. What a brilliant opener, folks. Let's go ahead and tally our stars. So look at this. We know that there were 5 highlights for Clarence Doughton, Downtown Withers. So again, he is a downtown superstar shooting guard. So you know he was draining 3-point buckets probably. Hitting jump shots, taking the ball to the hole, getting a few steals. Unbelievable. All right, so there's our final. Let's go ahead and tally some scores. Rojo, the Rojo group. Let's go with Connor West. And today West scored 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 19 points. And when your number one guy, your bench, gets 19, technically coming off the bench, representing the 6th man, number 88, gets 19, you're in trouble. Well, or you're going to blow people out. I mean, it's conceivable you could have 19 from your bench and get multiples. But I don't know. John Smith, number 40, their star power forward, who had 2 highlights today. John Smith's going to score 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7 points for John Smith. Bill McCarty, again, rumored to be related to Billy the Kid. He had no highlights. Bill McCarty scored 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 points for Bill McCarty. All right, Walton. He's a number 31 center, role player. Walton scored 6, 10, 14 for Walton. Not bad. We got 3 players in double digits. That's not too bad. Lewis, the pickpocket. This is our point guard, star point guard. 2 highlights. For those, you know those were steals, right? Poke the ball away, fast break, finger rolls to the bucket. Jackie Lewis. Lewis scored... Am I looking at the... Oh, damn it. I'm not looking at Lewis. I'm looking at... Whoops. Rogers. Gee, I'm talking about the wrong person. There we go. Rogers, who finally did something late, got 2 highlights. Unfortunately, Rogers literally did nothing until... So their small forward role player scored 14 in the final 2 segments. So he took over late, probably against backups. And then last but not least, their star Patterson, their big center. I bet he's 7 foot, 6'11", 7'2". Patterson had 2 highlights. Glenn Rogers had 2. Patterson, 11, 22. Dang, he only had 22 in the first half. So, folks, we got the leader, their star center, Patterson, 22. Rogers, their power small forward, 14. Walton, their center, 14. Backup center. No, he is their center, 14. McCarty, shooting guard, 14. Smith, 7. And West, who represents the bench, another 19. That's Rojo. So the leader for them had 22 points. That's unbelievable. Soda City. All right, let's go down here to Uncle Berto. Unc, he is a star center, had 1 highlight, but Unc had 6, 12, 14, 15 points for their bench, or Unc off the bench, their 6th man, who is their center technically. So he is a starter. He just represents that one spot that is so damn sweet. Every time I play this, I see more and more abstractly how one is not really the bench. It's just these are your top players. It's so sweet. Okay, Downtown Withers, who had a blistering, brilliant day. Downtown actually had a couple of defensive highlights, a couple of offensive highlights. He was at heat level. So Downtown Withers, number 62, their superstar shooting guards scored 2, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Only 16 and was at heat level 1 and had 5 highlights. So those, as you can tell, those are all big plays. So he only scored 16, but you can imagine they were blocks where he took it the distance. You can see these were like imagine a steal goes coast to coast, dunks it. You can imagine a block recovers coast to coast, dunks it. So these are defensive plays turned into highlights. Unbelievable. Downtown Withers, shooting guard superstar, is impressive. Only 16 points, but it isn't that. It's what he did to whoever he was facing. Remember, it's not so much what they score, it's that whoever he was up against, he quashed. That's awesome as hell. So he's a shooting guard, but he might be like a 6'7", 6'5", 6'6" shooting guard. Wow. All right, that was Withers. We got to look at Chitwood. This is the janitor, Chitwood. He is the garbage man. He's the guy that hustles, picks up loose balls, grabs rebounds. Chitwood, what did he do today? Chitwood had no highlights. Chitwood had 3, 4, 5. Wow. 15 for Chitwood without a highlight. So he just played a role, baby. So how do you gather up? And he scored the final 2 segments for them. So 10, 15. So what are these? These would be late hustle scores, right? He gets loose balls and then returns it to the hoop. He's grabbing up loose balls, posting up. Chitwood gets 50. I mean, you can just narratively see exactly how these players are playing. Lewis had 2 highlights. Star point guard. Lewis scored 4, 8. Only 8 points, 2 highlights for Lewis. Unbelievable. Number 5 is Howard. Howard had a brilliant day. Scotty Howling Howard, number 12. Howard scored 9, 16, 26 points for Howlin' Howard, led the Soda City Bottlecaps. And last but not least, their role-playing number 6, Sparks. Sparkplug Sparks at point guard didn't do much. He did have 2 highlights, but he really didn't contribute in a lot. Sparks scored 8. Oh, I take that back. He scored 8 and 11 back-to-back. Holy cow, he scored 19. 19. Those were his 2 highlight segments. And there it is, folks. We have had, this is game number 1 of 2026 in the FBA. It is April, 20, 21. I can't remember what the date is. So let's take a look one more time. The final score, 99-90. Soda City controls at home in the debut game of the FBA, beating the Rio Rojo Phoenix, and the Soda City Bottlecaps at home get the job done. West for them, Connor West scores 19. Smith 7, McCarty 14, Walton, their big center, 14. Rogers shows up late, scores 14. And their top man, Patterson, their star center, scored 22. Uncle Bordeaux, who is their center star, scores 15, even though he's the number 1 man. That is so sweet. Withers gets 16 with a heat level 1, 5 highlights on the day. And Withers is their number 2 man superstar. I'm really seeing what Dell's talking about now. Even though they're 1s and 2s, they are stars and superstars because they play defense, not just offense. That is so damn sweet. Chitwood gets 15. The janitor, Chitwood, who's a role-playing power forward, number 99, scrapes off 15. Lewis, the pickpocket point guard star, gets just 8. But again, 2 highlights. You can imagine those came off of steals. Howard, Scotty Howard, who is a role-playing power forward, hit heat level 1. He hit heat level 1. also had 5, which means he had at least 3 highlights. We know he had 3 highlights because he has heat level 1, scored 26, and last but not least, the role-playing point guard, Mark Sparkplug Sparks, number 21, scored 19 points. And there it is, folks. There is no doubt Dell has made, for me, the premier basketball, fast play basketball game. Why is it so good? Because we actually have players. We actually see matchups. We actually see them get momentum, and we see that create defense wins with heat level, offensive point bonuses. It's you know, got it all for what I'm looking for. My problem with basketball games, if they're basketball simulators, they take an eon. They take 90 minutes to 2 hours, maybe longer to play. They're tedious as hell because you're rolling for every possession. I'm ticking every 2-point bucket. To me, those are boring. They're long. They're tedious. And then you've got fast play basketball games, which are fun and accurate, like my game, like John Turnbull's game. But they lack some details. They lack the sense that we're seeing the ebb and flow. Well, you're getting the ebb and flow of points, but you're not necessarily seeing the value of him being a center star and actually in a matchup against somebody in a segment, which is just, that's amazing. And all of it done in a couple of pages of rules. I mean, this is like a 2-page rule book, folks. It's brilliant. So, all right, everybody, thanks for watching. This has been Flashpoint Basketball, game number 1 of our new 16 professional league. I have not rated. Again, I've got the other players in their number position. I've got their names, I've got their coach, but I have yet to roll up their roles and assign their positions. And then again, I will break them into individual players so I can play my games using a more visual feature. And I'll be honest, the visual thing kind of helps me see the highlights and things. So doing this is actually it's a better tool to track the game for me intellectually. So here's an example of having this visual element. Also tells me, I can just glance at the board and say, damn, Withers has had a brilliant day. I don't need to see he scored just 16 points. Well, not just, that's good, 16. But he's got a heat token and 2 more. He was on his way to 2 heat levels. I could just glance at my board and see who won this game. Soda City had to have won. They got 2 guys with at heat 1, and they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 highlights on the board. I can look at Rio and see no heat levels, and they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 highlights on the board. I could just glance at the end of the game and see who won this. That's awesome. It's just incredible. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.